And now, join me in welcoming Tracy Mead, Executive Director of Project Self-Sufficiency, to the stage.
Hi. I'm so glad you guys are here. We were, you can kind of look around and see a few empty tables, but thanks so much for coming out today and hearing the stories of our families and just supporting us in all the ways that you do. We're thrilled to have you. So I got a lot to say today. There's a lot of pages with this speech, so I'm going to try to get through it and keep your interest, which I'm sure that I will. But I just want to start out, with what you hear me say a lot is that at Project Self-Sufficiency, that we cultivate the grit and determination needed for a lifetime of achievements for single parents and their children. So when we provide single parents with access to education and career development, we actually strengthen the self-power that they need to blast beyond their barriers. We really want them to be able to live a completely different life. As the primary and often sole provider for their children, single parents are out to construct a completely different future for their kids. Project Self-Sufficiency is here to play a really important supporting role in this really important endeavor. You just saw Gabby and Amanda demonstrate the balancing act that single parents perform on a daily basis. And you saw that Project Self-Sufficiency helps remove a lot of the balloons or a lot of the barriers. Each year, we serve an average of 150 single parents and their 280 children, and we serve them through the generous donations of many of you in this room, the incredible partnerships that we have in the community, and the numerous business owners who believe in our mission. But how do we do this? What is our process? How do we support the resources that each family needs? We rely on what we call the self-power model. This model helps us guide and support the success of our participants. Our self-power model ensures that we provide the right supports at the right time to prevent all the balloons from falling, even when more balloons, like those representing college classes, are added to the mix. Let's talk about how the self-power model works a little bit. Our model has 4 stages. The first stage, the discovery stage, is when participants work with advisors to understand their strengths, their skills, and their interests in order to identify possible careers. They use formal assessments, things like Jobsology, if you're familiar with that. They also conduct informational interviews, and they do online research. And then participant and advisor map out the training and the education that's needed for them to be successful in that field, plus the dollars that are needed to pay for it. Our advisors are masters at helping participants piece together the funding needed to minimize debt and pay for school. A key part of this process is the creation of what we call the self-sufficiency budget. Here, we take into account the income that's needed to support the desired life for themselves and their children, and to manage all the future balloons. The next stage is the strengthen stage, and this is when a participant enrolls in school and pursues that training and career that they need to move into their desired career. They truly feel strengthened at this point, and it really is quite a transformation to watch from our end. Now they start to believe I can instead of I can't. Then a participant moves into the actualized stage, and this is where they build their resume, they network with people in their career field, and they interview for exciting new jobs. Things are really coming together now. And the final stage we call launch. And this is the transition out of our program and into career-related employment. We have a success story on our hands now, and their future literally has been rewritten. Every stage is supported by something we call our Healthy Families program. This brings the resources that are needed to create and maintain the stability, ensuring the progress towards the family goals. Let's look at a few ways that we used our Healthy Family dollars in 2019. First, the first item is, it'll come as no surprise, I'm sure, to you, that we spent more than $78,000 on housing-related needs. This is because a participant cannot do well in school or create a stable environment for their kids if they're couch surfing or living in their car. Safe and stable housing is essential. We spent another $70,000 plus for transportation needs. I used to be one of the loudest voices about the need to build out our public transportation system in northern Colorado. I still believe in this cause, but now I know it's not a viable option for a single parent to use the bus to get their kids to school, themselves to work and to school, to the store, to the doctor, etc. Single parents need safe, reliable vehicles to reach their daily destinations. It really helps ensure that they stay on track towards their education and employment goals. We spent $37,000 of our own money for childcare needs, and we leveraged an additional $131,000 from our longtime partner, Women Give. Yeah, give it up for Women Give. That's a big ding deal. And you probably know, why do we do this? Because early childhood education is key. It has a lasting impact on a child's trajectory. But with the looming cost of childcare, it's not realistic for our families. These dollars provide peace of mind for parents who have aggressive goals. It allows children to receive high-quality early education that is proven to impact behavioral and academic outcomes in childhood. It even increases the likelihood that these children will attend college as young adults. And we all know that the cost of higher education, tuition and fees, plus living expenses, continues to go up. We spent $94,000 in scholarships and leveraged an additional $113,000 from community partners. Student loan debt can sink a family whose sole income earner is launching into a career at entry-level wages. At Project Self-Sufficiency, we do everything we can to ensure that our graduates are debt-free or have as little debt as possible when they launch from our program. Did you know 80% of our participants identify as victims of violence? Trauma can derail a participant from reaching their goals. If a parent has experienced trauma, there's a strong likelihood that children have too. We spent over $7,000 for mental health supports to bring important mental health interventions to our families so that trauma doesn't affect their success in school or beyond. These investments are just a sampling of how we ensure that our families stay on track towards their goals, and they also supported our 2019 Project Self-Sufficiency accomplishments. Things like 15 participants earning degrees, including 3 associate degrees, 7 bachelor's degrees, 4 certificates, and 1 GED. What an accomplishment. Yeah, it's exciting. We saw 13 participants launch from our program, with 100% of them landing employment, and their average increase in earnings was $25,722 increase. And we also saw 98% completion rate for college course credits. with an average GPA of 3.4. That is excellent. When you think about that, when you think about parents raising their kids by themselves while going to school and often working, that's pretty good, huh? And then we saw 47 single parents with their 79 children improve or sustain their housing by securing a home or avoiding eviction. Can you imagine the sigh of relief that these 47 parents felt? Yeah. We are super proud of our impact, and you will not be surprised that we feel compelled to do more. In 2020, we added money to our budget to provide an increase in dollars available through Healthy Families. We also reorganized our internal allocation process to increase flexibility and allow advisors to be creative and nimble in addressing the barriers represented by the balloons. We are making great strides, and yet we have our own barriers to progress. Those include rising costs of higher education, limits on financial aid, low-paying entry-level jobs, even with a bachelor's degree, increasing costs to live in Larimer County, housing, transportation, childcare. For us, all of those things are like balloons, and they pose challenges to implementing our model as we do it today. Because we want to do more, in the coming year, we will pilot new changes to our model. And to achieve this, we hired new staff. One of them was Amanda, who you saw on the stage. And these new staff will work closely with leadership to test some of these new concepts. Already this year, which we're only 72 days in, we have placed mobile advisors at 2 education partner locations, Colorado State University and Front Range Community College. It is good, yeah. And with your support, we plan to also include Poudre School District's Teen Parent Program, Loveland Housing Authority, Housing Catalyst, and key employers. As you saw, single parents have significant barriers around time and transportation, and bringing our self-power model to alternative locations allows us to expand our impact by meeting participants where they study, work, and live. Later this year, our staff will train our partners at Colorado State University, Front Range, and Loveland Housing Authority to offer walk-in help sessions on our behalf. Think of them like boots on the ground for us. By training partners to execute this initial step in our process, we can again expand our reach to potential new clients. And we're not done yet. We're also conducting a community needs assessment of Weld County, and we will use this information to evaluate and guide possible future expansion of our self-power model to residents of Weld County. Yeah. For us, these possibilities are challenging and exciting, and I see renewed enthusiasm and energy from our staff, our Team Awesome, as you know I call them, and a new level of commitment from our stellar board of directors, and we really want all of you on board too. As you hear the stories today, I hope that you will keep in mind what it could be like to expand our program to more single-parent families in northern Colorado. And now, I want to highlight one of our partners who contributes in big ways to our work. I can't say this enough. We don't do any of this by ourselves. We don't do it alone. Over the last 30 years, there have been countless partnerships who have helped us transform the lives of single-parent families in Larimer County. We have been privileged each year to recognize those who have worked tirelessly in support of our mission through the VisionMaker Award, which goes to the individual, organization, or business that has advanced our vision in remarkable ways. As you saw in the balloon exercise, one significant barrier for families is transportation. Without her car, Gabby struggled to arrive safely and on time to her destinations. It's easy to see why lack of reliable transportation can prevent a single parent from meeting work and school commitments and derail their plans to create the completely different life that we refer to. That is why the role that Houska Automotive plays in literally keeping our families on the road to accomplish their goals is essential. Safe and reliable transportation means that single parents accomplish goals. Please join me in welcoming Houska Automotive to the stage to accept the 2020 Project Self-Sufficiency VisionMaker Award.
Well, thank you, Project Self-Sufficiency, for the honor of accepting the VisionMaker Award. Everybody, all of us at Houska Automotive love PSS. I'm going to use PSS once in a while here. Okay. Your mission truly changes lives right here in our community, not only for your clients, but their families, even future generations. And it's been a pleasure to be a part of that. Everybody wants to be self-sufficient, and through you give your clients the tools to make a change where they can become self-sufficient and to make a change in their own lives and to be able to lead a life that they can be proud of. At the shop, we've been able to get to know several of the different families, the PSS families, through the car donation program. And it's been really great to see through the different programs that you offer how it can really change their lives. And lastly, I'd like to thank everybody here for coming out to support such a worthwhile organization. Thank you.